Right now at 10, significant deficiencies with Duluth's water system. The EPA tonight sounding the alarm over corroding pipes and leaking valves. Plus, post-campaign cleanup. After his election night win, Roger Reinert spends the day picking up signs and looking to the future.
From the KBJR-TV studios, you're watching the news at 10 on Northern News Now.
Good evening, I'm Dan Wolf.
And I'm Laura Lee. Thanks for joining us. The EPA is sounding the alarm tonight on Duluth's water system, claiming that inspections show, quote, significant deficiencies at several water pumping systems.
In Northern News Now's Cara Kopp is taking a look at the problem and getting reaction from the city.
This is a Lakewood water treatment plant owned by the city of Duluth. The plant is made up of multiple systems responsible for providing up to 68 million gallons of treated water a day, including the water we sometimes drink. Each year, the EPA is required to inspect the site's conditions and operations of the public water system, making sure the water I am drinking right now meets the standards of the Safe Water Drinking Act. However, this year's EPA report found evidence of the system having, quote, significant deficiencies. The concerns include multiple leaky relief valves at pumping stations, water leaks, damaged walls, and a failing roof at the Lakewood pump station, rust and corrosion on water lines, and more. This comes as a call for concern for city leaders as these systems bring water to areas including Hermantown, Proctor, and Rice Lake, all of which could be at risk of seeing contaminated water if fixes aren't made. The EPA requires a meeting with city leaders on the issue within the coming week, hoping to find a solution quickly. In Duluth, Cara Kopp, Northern News Now.
We did reach out to the EPA and they said they will get back to us tomorrow. As for city leaders, they turned down an interview opportunity, but in a statement said the quality of our drinking water supply is not affected by anything in the report. They're going through the report and will meet with the EPA in the next 10 days.
Well, here's a live look outside at the aerial lift bridge. It is a cool, clear night in the Northland with pretty seasonable temperatures for November. Checking in now with Chief Meteorologist Adam Lorch, who is tracking the weather for us. I know some snow is in the forecast, but tonight it feels pretty mild.
Yeah, not too bad out there so far. The cold air will be moving in by the end of the week, though, so don't get too comfortable. Let's take a look at what we're seeing out there right now. So far, no snow, just a few flurries maybe up towards Baudette, but some scattered rain showers moved out of the area. Ely still seeing a little bit of light rain, reporting that right now. 32 degrees, though, so maybe a little bit of a mix. 37 for Duluth and Solon Springs, 42 for Hayward, 39 in Hinckley, 33 up in International Falls. We are starting to see those winds beginning to pick up out of the west between 10 and 20 miles per hour here in Duluth, elsewhere between 5 and 15. And we're even seeing some gusts already pushing into the 20 to 35 mile per hour range. Really starting to see those gusts pick up across portions of western Minnesota. And those winds will continue to increase with intensity as we head through the overnight. Tomorrow, going to be starting off with maybe a few scattered flurries. There might be a few more kind of midday and into the afternoon for some folks, but not everyone's going to be seeing that. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s, so holding pretty steady throughout the day. But the wind is going to be pretty uncomfortable tomorrow, gusting up to maybe 40 miles per hour at times. It's going to make it feel like it's in the 20s still. I'll look at that full forecast breakdown, what I expect for snow totals tonight, and possibly a warm-up next week coming up just a little bit.
All right, we'll look forward to it. Thanks, Adam. A former Twin Ports gymnastics coach is going to spend the next 25 years in prison after pleading guilty to producing child porn. According to court documents, 50-year-old George Dappa of Superior sexually abused a 15-year-old minor and produced images of that sexual abuse. Dappa was federally charged and pleaded guilty this summer to one count of producing child porn. According to the federal plea agreement, Dappa also agreed to enter guilty pleas involving sexual assaults against at least 5 other minors in St. Louis County and Douglas County. He's accused of isolating and drugging his victims in some cases. Authorities believe there may be additional victims. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the FBI Minneapolis Division.
Well, tonight, Duluth police warning of an alarming trend, calling the city the epicenter of a potential opioid epidemic. A new report shows an increase in deadly opioid-related overdoses in Duluth this year. Duluth police say they responded to 37 deadly opioid overdoses this year. That is up from 35 overdoses from all of last year. Police say fentanyl has become a major contributor to both fatal and non-fatal overdoses. While the trend is not new to police, they say this year is shocking with an increase in pressed pills laced with fentanyl. Experts say this is a community problem and it needs a community solution.
This year and this spike is so drastic that more people are seeing it, which I partially think is good. More people are becoming aware that we are the epicenter for an opioid epidemic in our area. It is happening here. It's in Duluth.
Community partners, education, and prevention are all solutions to the problem. Harm Reduction Services provides free fentanyl test strips, plus Narcan, which is an opioid reversal drug. Police also want to remind people that Minnesota's Steve's Law provides some limited immunity for the person overdosing, as well as the person calling 911.
Just 24 hours after winning the Duluth mayoral election, Roger Reinert is hitting the streets to get to work on his new role.
Yeah, Reinert spent the day collecting and cleaning up campaign signs. He said it was the first step forward after the 10 months of hard campaigning. Evaluating his team, Reinert said he will also be requesting meetings with key stakeholders in the city, including the city administrator, city attorney, police, and fire chiefs, along with finance and budget staff. Reinert said he's looking for the right people on his leadership team and finding folks to fill those positions who can also set achievable goals.
You know, as I look at the mayoral staff, as I look at that key leadership team, and then as I look at department level leaders, that's what I'm going to be looking for. What is the skill set we need here? Not what the individual personality or the past history is.
Reinert also says he wants to put politics aside and to work with Mayor Emily Larson to make the transition as smooth as possible. He says that includes requesting space in City Hall to have those conversations. Reinert, along with other city elected officials, take office in mid-January. Well, turnout last night reflected a lot of what we saw in the primary.
It was way up. About 29,000 people voted in the general election, which was higher than recent mayoral elections, but slightly below record levels for a race like this. As we saw in August, Reinert performed well on the edges of town, especially out west. Larson had most of her supporters turn out in the neighborhoods near UMD and East Hillside. She won about double the number of precincts compared to the primary, but it appears turnout elsewhere was higher for Reinert.
And the final results are in, and a new face will be joining the Duluth School Board. Stephanie Williams ousted incumbent Alana Oswald. Williams got 52% of Oswald's 45%. Oswald was seeking her third term on the school board, while Williams has not held elected office before, but has worked for the district in the past. She says she hopes to bring more diversity to the board and bring more equity to students.
When it came to the Duluth Public Schools two-question referendum, voters approved half of it. Now, the question that passed allows the school district to refinance an existing debt.
Yeah, that move will free up about $2.6 million to support academic and mental health support.
It'll also expand courses for high school students. The refinancing will allow debts to be paid off sooner than expected and create financial stability for the project.
To focus on the academic, behavioral support and behavioral supports, as well as the new high school schedule.
Now, this measure means if you own a $200,000 home, property taxes will increase by $1 a month to pay off the debt. Now, the question voters rejected last night focused on technology.
Meantime, voters in Grand Rapids overwhelmingly shot down a three-question school referendum. Each question saw more than 75% of people voting no. The referendum would have increased taxes to help keep staff and programs running within the school district. Now, the district superintendent says while he is disappointed, he understands the community's opposition to new property taxes. He says the district will look to other budget cuts, something they're no stranger to.
Going to be our fifth year of it in a row. And so it's something we've been through before. But every time that a district goes through this, the cuts go deeper. The loss is more for kids and staff and community.
The superintendent says the district is limited in its options going forward and will need to reach back out to the community in the future.
And while last night's municipal elections were technically nonpartisan, there were party endorsements handed out to certain candidates in Duluth. These 6 candidates received DFL endorsements, but only half won, and one of them was uncontested. Experts like UMD's Dr. Cindy Rugeley say the party's performance is worth a conversation about endorsements looking ahead to 2024.
I would suspect the DFL is starting to have some conversations about this. You know, are we no longer, attracting these voters?
It's worth noting the DFL also endorsed Stephanie Williams and Sarah Mikesell in the Duluth School Board races. Williams won her race while Mikesell ran unopposed. We reached out to the DFL for content about endorsements, but no one was available by news time.
Still to come, a tentative deal between actors and Hollywood studios when the strike will officially end. That's next.
Plus, Minnesota Supreme Court rules on whether Donald Trump will appear on next year's ballot.
Meet the Swivel.
The Superior City Council has voted to build a city-owned fiber network, creating a different internet option for residents. Funding for the fiber optic infrastructure project called Connect Superior was approved back in 2021. The goal is to provide high-speed internet to every home and business in the city. Mayor Jim Payne says the fiber lines won't compete with the private sector, but instead will be physical infrastructure that the city will own and then will let companies use to compete for business. During last night's council meeting, the plan was approved with a 7-3 vote. No word yet on an immediate timeline for the construction to start.
Hollywood's Actors Union has reached a tentative deal with studios to end its strike. The contract agreement reached Wednesday still must be approved by the union's board and its members, but the deal brings an end to the months of labor strife that has hobbled production in Hollywood. The union says the strike will be over officially tomorrow. Screenwriters ended their own strike on September 26th. It was the first time both writers and actors were on strike together since 1960. The details of this agreement were not immediately released, but are likely to be shared with the actors and public in the coming days.
Well, the Minnesota Supreme Court today ruled former President Donald Trump can be on the ballot in 2024. But their decision was not as definitive as Trump's lawyers had hoped. The challengers can bring another petition to potentially block him from the general election ballot if he wins the Republican primary. A bipartisan group of Minnesota voters claims that Trump is disqualified under the 14th Amendment because of the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. Well, today's decision could still be appealed. Similar challenges to Trump's ballot candidacy are happening in both Colorado and Michigan. Well, Miami, Florida plays host to the third Republican primary debate tonight.
Yeah, the debate field was narrowed to 5 candidates looking to set themselves apart as the chief challenger to former President Donald Trump for the GOP nomination.
Yeah, the former president skips the debate, holding a rally just a short distance away. NBC's Alice Barr has more from Miami.
In the third Republican presidential debate, a slimmed down 5 candidates aiming to narrow the field even more.
You gave them stuff. I didn't give them anything.
What's your story? They're trying to knock each other out of the way to become the main challenger to the overwhelming frontrunner, former President Trump.
He owes it to you to be on this stage and explain why he should get another chance. He should explain why he didn't have Mexico pay for the border wall.
Anybody who's going to be spending the next year and a half of their life focusing on keeping themselves out of jail and courtrooms cannot lead this party or this country.
Mr. Trump again choosing to skip the debate, rallying instead outside Miami.
Florida, great state. We love to be with you.
Foreign policy featuring prominently in the first debate since the start of the Israel-Hamas war.
You don't respond to an enemy and a terrorist with fear. You respond with strength. When you do that, that's when the world pays attention, and that's when Iran stops.
As President of the United States, my foreign policy is simple. You cannot negotiate with evil. You have to destroy it.
Ukraine aid, another key topic. And on China.
And we have to declare economic independence from our enemy.
The rivals zeroing in on the economy.
Everything involving Bidenomics, I'm going to rip it up and I'm going to throw it in the trash can.
We are going to unleash every bit of American energy.
The candidates all grappling with Tuesday night's election results that brought big wins for Democrats, centered on abortion rights.
Let's focus on how to save as many babies as we can and support as many moms as we can and stop the judgment.
A night focused on the issues with the first primary contest fast approaching.
There were a few deeply personal attacks on stage, though overall the debate really did stick to substantive issues. Unclear, though, if any of the candidates answered the big question, why Republican voters should vote for them instead of former President Trump. In Miami, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Skies are starting to clear across some parts of western and central Minnesota. I think eventually those clouds will clear out across the southern half of our region, but we do have some light snow developing over the Iron Range right now. We'll continue to see some light snow showers on and off here throughout the overnight and into tomorrow morning as this low pressure system slowly slides across our region, then really zooms out tomorrow. But again, we'll continue to see some scattered flurries throughout the day tomorrow. After that, high pressure is going to build in. That's going to settle things down for the end of the week, and that's going to continue into the weekend and really even into next week. We're going to be seeing a very quiet stretch of weather here as we head through next week, and in fact, even a big warming trend on the way. The possibility for some sunshine returning, looking pretty good by the end of the weekend especially. Tonight, though, could see a dusting of snow, especially across our far northern counties, but even here in Duluth through Grand Rapids, parts of the Iron Range and even up the North Shore, and even some spots in the UP could see traced maybe a ½ inch of some snow, but maybe an inch or so in areas off to our north. It is going to be quite windy, though, as this system moves through. We're going to be seeing those wind gusts tonight and into tomorrow morning, reach into the 30 to 40 mile per hour range. All the way throughout the day tomorrow, we'll continue to see those really strong winds. But as that high pressure builds in tomorrow night, that's when the winds start to calm down. We should be seeing, again, a very quiet end of the week here. With those strong winds, National Weather Service does have a gale warning for western Lake Superior, so most of our region under that gale warning should be seeing some pretty big wave action, especially along the South Shore with those winds out of the west and northwest. Tomorrow morning temperatures are going to be sitting in the lower 30s, not really gaining much ground tomorrow. It's going to be a bit of a chilly day as we head into the evening hours, and Friday morning we'll be seeing some 20s and 30s, and again, not gaining much ground there either. So temperatures remain a little bit chilly throughout the day on Friday. Across the upper Midwest tomorrow, 44 for St. Cloud, 49 for Marshall, 47 for Minneapolis, 50 for Green Bay, 52 down in Madison, 44 for Wausau. Just breezy conditions throughout the day tomorrow, and again, going to be seeing some light scattered snow showers for us. I'll look at that full forecast, talk about what I expect here this weekend and how warm we could get next week, coming up after the break.
Celebrate Eat Downtown.
Here's a look at your 3-day forecast. Tomorrow we'll see some scattered flurries, especially across northern Minnesota, but a few folks in Wisconsin will also see some of those flurries, quieter conditions into Friday and Saturday on the Minnesota side, but maybe still a few flurries and some clouds on the Wisconsin side. Temperatures do bottom out on Friday, should bounce back into the upper 30s and lower 40s for most folks as we head into Saturday. And then Sunday, looking at some upper 40s, maybe even some lower 50s in some spots, both Sunday and Monday for our region. And also some more sunshine to be expected. As we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be seeing temperatures in the lower 50s, so something exciting.
Is it exciting? Is it? That's my question.
It's
Is
very
it exciting
for me.
So, big ice fisherman, you know, right
I'm
here.
with these guys all day.
I'm stoked for that season, but, you know, an extra week in the 50s. Winter's long,
because
man.
now we're going to have to delay the parade to when we have some snow on the ground.
Oh, we're not doing that. On the positive note, we can grill, remember, for football.
That's true. I can do things outside.
Cannot wait to get out the grill this weekend. That sounds good.
Nice.
All right, you're winning me back over.
Adam, thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, still to come, we head to the Salvation Army's Red Kettle Carnival and meet this year's Red Kettle Queen.
Plus, it is National Signing Day. Several Northland student athletes put pen to paper today as they take their talents to the next level. Alexis Bass is going to reel in sports next.
Want to see
Well, Red Kettle season is upon us.
That's right. The Duluth Salvation Army kicked off its Red Kettle Carnival tonight at Bentleyville, and this year a royal guest is going to be joining the bell ringers.
That's right. For today only, Bentleyville opened to the public before its scheduled to start date to give people a chance to see the lights and to donate a toy to the Salvation Army. All new this year is the Red Kettle Queen. She will make special appearances ringing bells at 4 indoor locations across the city on 4 different dates. If you make a donation during that time, you could win a crown and join the Red Kettle royalty.
So I have little scrolls and everything. I'm going to ribbon it up, and you know, it's going to be a thing. And so at each one, the date coincides with the donor that's going to get crowned. And then if people want to come out, you know, people come and they go to the mall and see Santa, right? Everyone can get a picture with Santa. Well, only the people that come to see me are going to get a picture with the Red Kettle Queen, right?
There you heard it. Lewis says this is also a great time to get kids out to teach them about donating and giving back. This year, the Salvation Army has set a goal of $225,000. They are still in need of volunteers. To sign up and for dates on that Red Kettle Queen appearance schedule, head to our website.
I feel like the Queen was throwing shade at Santa there. Like, anybody can get a photo with Santa, but not everyone gets one with me.
I literally thought, well, I want a photo with Santa this year, but she didn't seem to approve that.
Yeah, no, you got to get one with the Queen.
And then you donate on that day, you could be getting a crown as well.
Make a donation no matter what.
The crown's here, it's just invisible.
That's right. Look at you.
What do we got in sports?
It was a big day for high school athletes across the country and right here in the Northland as several athletes put pen to paper as they move one step closer to pursuing their dreams in collegiate athletics. So happy National Signing Day to all who celebrate. And one school who surely celebrated today was Sparty Party over in Superior. 4 Spartans signed their national letters of intent today, including Chloe Zentowski, who will play basketball at Michigan Tech. Sydney Frederick will be staying local to play tennis at UMD. Elena DeGraff will be playing softball at Bemidji State. And last but not least, Autumn Cooper will also continue her career at Bemidji State, becoming the first Spartan girls hockey player to commit to a Division I program. All 4 of the girls were supported by friends, family, coaches, and teammates as they celebrated the young athletes' achievements.
It should be super fun. It's really exciting for the program as a whole. I'm most excited to play all the big dogs. You know, Bemidji plays Wisconsin, Ohio State, U of M. So it'll be super cool to be able to play against super talented athletes.
I love that I get to stay home and I get to stay with my family. That was a really big thing for me. I didn't really want to leave them, and I'm glad that I get to stay in the Duluth and Superior area. I'm really excited to play at the next level. I'm excited for a good challenge next year.
Congrats again to every single Northland athlete who signed their NLIs today. And down at the Xcel Energy Center today, the state volleyball tournament was firing up. 5th seed of Grand Rapids took on 4th seed Detroit Lakes in their class trip to state quarterfinals, but got swept by Detroit Lakes 3-0. But either way, a big congratulations to the Thunderhawks on a great run this season. They finished 20-10 on the year. Well, coming up next, head coach Kevin O'Connell gives us the update on his star wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. Will he be playing this upcoming weekend? Find out next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Essential.
The Minnesota Vikings have showcased quite a bit of resilience so far this season. They started 0-3, overcame that, lost their star receiver in Justin Jefferson, have battled through that, lost their QB1, and as we all know, have not missed a beat since that. While it's confirmed Josh Dobbs is the guy under center for Sunday, what about the progress of Jefferson? Jefferson was spotted in practice today after missing the last 4 games due to a hamstring injury that occurred in Week 5's loss to the Chiefs. Now that his 21-day practice window has opened up, Jefferson will have the opportunity to take specific reps in practice to get him acclimated again. Regardless of Jefferson's absence these last 4 weeks, he's not only been invested and present on the sidelines for his team, but he still leads the Purple with 571 receiving yards. And as eager as he is to get back on the field, so are the people who root for 18. So when a media member asked KOC if JJ would play this weekend, he responded with this.
I think that would probably be, a little aggressive. I think he feels really good. I know we all feel good about where he's at. But we're going to take it a day at a time and ultimately do what's best for Justin and his long-term future here with us in Minnesota.
The Vikings kick off the Saints at noon on Sunday. Laura, I know you're patiently waiting to get him back on your fantasy team.
I can't wait to see him and Dobbs play together. I think that's going to be exciting to watch.
I know. Well, Dobbs has done it all, so we'll see what he does this weekend. I'm excited as well.
Yeah.
Queen of sports. Thank you very much, Alexis Best, the invisible crown.
How about King of Weather, Adam? What do we have for that?
Thank you. Jeez. Yeah, well, let's take a look at what we got going on radar. We do have some scattered snow showers right now, kind of across the Iron Range area. From just east of Grand Rapids towards Hibbing and Virginia and Hoyt Lakes, and just starting to push towards Ely right now as well. Otherwise, a couple of sprinkles, just some rain showers in the Bayfield Peninsula. Still could be seeing some accumulation of snow, especially across the international border tonight of up to an inch and a half at the most. Most areas just picking up a light coating or dusting though. Here's a look at that extended forecast. Going to cool down towards the end of the week, but we do bounce back by the end of the weekend, and that will set off a warming trend through next week with 50s for highs.
All right. Thanks, Adam. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great night.